I was first actually introduced to her through NDRE. She was doing background vocals for her, and then I just started following her career. And then a few years ago, she began or got a lot of recognition with the Snarky Puppy Project and won some Grammy Awards that some of you are probably familiar with. And she's just a phenomenal artist, and I know you're going to enjoy her. So without further ado, Miss Chantae.
You and I, baby,
Hello, my name is Mary Howard Ade. I'm the Music Marketing Manager at the Chattanooga Convention and Visitors Bureau. Tonight, I'm with the incredible Chantae Cann. Welcome to Chattanooga.
Thank you for having me.
Is this your first time in Chattanooga?
This is my first time performing in Chattanooga.
Okay.
So I guess you can count it as my first time.
Your music is described as uplifting, encouraging, and motivational, and I know that I felt that tonight, as did the entire crowd. Can you tell us a little bit about where you get your inspiration from?
Oh my goodness. Is it cliche to say life is my inspiration? it really is. I mean, honestly, I fell in love with music at a very, very young age. So, and I was super shy. I never wanted to sing in front of anybody. I didn't want to do anything until somebody kind of took me under their wings and kind of cultivated me in my sound and kind of allowed me to feel comfortable in my own skin and my own sound. So through the people that are around me who inspire me with different musicians, from, you know, jazz musicians to R&B to soul to hip hop to classical to country to rock, all of the genres inspire me. And so, yeah, that's me in a nutshell. That was the short version.
So you've had a career as a very successful background vocalist for artists such as NDRE, and here you are with your debut album, Journey to Golden, taking the spotlight in a solo career. How does that feel?
Amazing. It felt like I just had a baby. And I just pushed it out. I'm like, okay, and now I have to like take care of the baby and make sure it doesn't die and feed it and like properly nurture it. So that it's work, you know, but it's not work.
Right.
You know, it's my passion. So I'd rather do it. Like, I wouldn't want to do anything else right now. So I feel amazing. I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off of me, and I can just like move forward onto the next thing.
Are you also working on a documentary right now?
Yeah, I actually am. We were filming maybe last summer. It's a documentary called The Beauty of It All, and I wanted people to kind of see past the music side of things, of kind of my life. I didn't really realize I had a story until I had a story, and I'm like, okay, I could probably talk about some things that might be able to relate to some people that may love music but may need something deeper than that, you know. So any way that I can relate to people in another way, I'm all for it. And yeah, I met some really, really cool people who were experts at making documentaries, so I hooked up with them, and it should be out like this year sometime. We want to enter it into Sundance Festival.
Very cool.
So yeah,
what's the name of it?
It's called The Beauty of It All.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll be sure to watch for that. And thank you so much for being here at the Jazzanooga Music
Thank you for
Festival.
having me. It was my pleasure.
won't let the bad moments change my mind. I'm freeing my dreams from deep inside, and I'm not trying to be something I'm
I am with the one and only Christian McBride, who I just saw perform, which was absolutely incredible. Thank you so much for being here tonight at the 5th Annual Jazzanooga Music Festival.
My pleasure. It's great to be here in Chattanooga for the first time.
You're a 5-time Grammy winner, and you're one of the most recorded artists in the music world right now, with over 300 recordings with some of the best people out there. Diana Krall, you know, the list goes on and on and on, and Paul McCartney, Sting, I mean, you do it all. So one of the things that I wanted to ask you about is, I know that you've recorded with James Brown.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about what that experience was like?
Well, I never got to record with him, but I did get to perform with him twice. The first time I performed with him was in 1997 in Augusta, Georgia,
Wow.
at his birthday bash. And then one of his final concerts It was indeed his final concert in Los Angeles. I actually produced that concert.
Really?
It was called Soul on Top Live, and James Brown sang with a big band that I put together, and we did a bunch of jazz songs. The first all jazz concert James Brown ever did.
Wow. So one of the things that I think that I appreciate most about you is that you're able to perform with all different kinds of genres of music, jazz, pop, rock, soul, everything. And so where would you say that your ability to be such a diverse musician comes from?
Curiosity and appreciation for all cultures, and wanting to learn as much as I can as a musician. To me, being a musician is a particular skill set, not of just a musical skill set, but it's also you get to use a great deal of intellect. You must use a lot of intellect in playing jazz, and there are a lot of really good musicians who are only good at a couple of things, and that's fine. But I've always been really curious about a lot of different cultures and a lot of different musical idioms and traditions, and when you commit yourself to learning as much music as you possibly can, you get to see how much music is out there that you really have to learn. I mean, it's a big world out there. American music is just that big.
Small part of
yeah.
it. So you have been called a prodigy.
Yeah, at one time.
Was it around the age 17 when this really started for you, this career path?
Well, I started working around Philadelphia, my hometown, when I was probably 14. I played in a youth ensemble when I was in middle school, and that was actually my first professional gig. We played like a private party, and we got paid $10 each. So I guess at that point you could say I was a professional. You know? But I started getting a name around Philadelphia when I was about 14 years old. My best friend in high school was the great organist Joey DeFrancesco. He wasn't playing organ in school. I mean, our school wasn't that hip that they were having organ, but Joey was a year older than me, and Joey was a local superstar by the time he was 8 years old. You know, he was playing gigs with his father, and his legs could barely touch the pedals. So he was known as he was the real child prodigy in Philadelphia during my time coming up. So I was sort of the, I was the Robin to his Batman. You know, I was the Barney Rubble to his Fred Flintstone.
Right.
You know, but I met Wynton Marsalis right before my 15th birthday, and he became sort of a mentor and a big brother to me. And once I met Wynton, things just kind of exploded.
Took from there.
Yeah.
So I know you were recently named the new artistic director of the Newport Jazz Festival. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
That's a huge honor.
Yes.
Newport is such a beautiful place, and I've been to the folk festival there,
Okay.
never the jazz festival, so I'll have to come up there soon.
Yeah, just hang out for an extra week.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And also, you have your own radio show on Sirius XM.
Yes.
So tell us who we should be listening to in the jazz world right now.
Oh,
What are your
man, that's-
current favorites, up and coming artists we should know about.
Man, there's too many people coming up. There's so many good people out there. There's Cecile McLaurin-Savant, wonderful vocalist. One of my favorite pianists, besides the one I had with me tonight, Emmett Cohen. There's Gerald Clayton. There's Christian Sands. Young saxophonist by the name of Tavon Pennicott is wonderful. A lot of good musicians out there now. Young bassist named Russell Hall, Joe Sanders. Gosh, too many. They all kind of run together. But, there's some really good young musicians out there on the scene.
Yeah. So one of the things that I wanted to bring up is that here at Jazzanooga, one of our initiatives is to bring the community together through music events such as tonight, but also
Looks like you did it.
Shane and James are pretty
The audience tonight was it was a wonderful potpourri of you know, of a lot of different shades, a lot of different styles of people. I loved seeing that.
Yeah, no, it's wonderful. And the other, initiative of it is education.
Yes.
And I know that that's a strong initiative for you and your wife as well.
That's right.
And so I just wanted to ask you to briefly talk about Jazz House Kids and all that's happening over there.
Yeah, Jazz House Kids is something that my wife, Melissa Walker, started about 14 years ago. And we basically do the work that a lot of public school music programs used to do. And because I don't know what it's like down here, but surely in the Northeast, and I would assume around the country, that so many music programs have been cut from public schools. So even if a child wants to play an instrument, they can.
Yeah.
So they now have to find some sort of an after-school program or some kind of program where they can go and learn how to play music. And that's what we do. And we've been able to see over 1,000 kids all over northern New Jersey throughout the school year. We're open 7 days a week. We have classes every day, ensembles every day. In fact, Emmett Cohen was one of our students.
Really?
Yeah. So it's wonderful that because I've been involved in jazz education now for at least a good 16 years. I got started in jazz education when I was in my late 20s. And one of the great things about that is I've always committed myself to giving back to some young musician what Wynton Marsalis and Bobby Watson and Kenny Barron and Betty Carter gave to me when I was 15, 16, 17 years old. You don't necessarily have to be an old master to be able to give some guidance to some young person. I mean, when I first met Wynton was I was 14, he was 25. But a 25-year-old talking to a 14-year-old, I can learn a lot from that person,
Right. And simply giving your time.
Exactly. So I've always wanted to be, I always decided that if I were ever in the same position, without hesitation, I would give back to these young cats. And so Melissa now has created this amazing place called Jazz House Kids, where we actually have a facility where kids can come and practice, and we got multiple practice rooms, and I'm just so proud of what she started and what we've been able to build together with the organization.
So would you two consider moving to Chattanooga?
Hey, we could get a Jazz House Kids Chattanooga satellite.
Well, thank you so much for everything
My
tonight.
pleasure.
Incredible performance. Appreciate you taking the time to be here.
Thank you,
and
Mary.
look forward to following everything else you do.
I hope you will have us down here again very soon.
Absolutely.
Right. Thank you, Mary.
Thank you.
My pleasure.